Hi, I'm Rabbi Marc, Kline, Monmouth Reformed Temple. This is Shabbat Shalom with a heart-healthy dose of Torah. If you know me, you'll know that I often liturgically and ritually march to the beat of a different accordion. I often believe that when we pray what we've always prayed and do ritual the way we've always done it, it becomes rote and almost like idol worship. We can't change this, or we can't change these words, or this is the song we have to sing. And we lose focus on what's really important, and that's prayer, and that's the stuff that's supposed to change our heart and soul. And we turn our traditions into idolatry, and that's, for me, tragic. I'm not alone in this idea. A lot of my clergy colleagues think so, and a guy named Maimonides 800 years ago, who we consider to be the chief Jew of all time, said that prayer has to always be with intention. It should never be from rote. Even if you're going to read some of the same words, you have to be able to say them, read them with a different intention. You have to know in your heart that you're hearing them as if for the first time. Otherwise, we run into the world we're in, where people are more concerned with the Christmas tree than the Christmas message, or more concerned with the Torah scroll than what it says. So I have a story that a lot of my colleagues have experienced, me included, but to protect the names of the innocent, I'm going to read someone else's story to you right now. A young teen asked the rabbi, "What's wrong with idol worship anyway? After all," she pointed out, "the synagogue is filled with beautiful holy objects with an intricately designed stained glass window and filigree eternal lights, and the Torah itself is just decorated beautifully, ornately." Well, the rabbi said, "I carefully explained to the young lady the problem with idols is that instead of serving as symbols of holiness, they replace holiness. Jewish sacred symbols," he claimed, "are just tools to remember the central teachings of Torah. They remind us that we should be kind to each other, we should pay attention, and we should pursue justice. An idol is something that is treated as holy in and of itself and worshipped and treated that way." So the young lady listened carefully to the rabbi's explanation and said, "But Rabbi, I've got one more question. If the Torah scroll is just a symbol that's supposed to remind us to be nice to each other, why did you snap at me the other day when I almost dropped it?" The rabbi thought, "I have been appropriately rebuked." We treat things like idols. Things like idols. So in the Torah portion this week, Israel's panicked. Moses goes up to see God at the top of the mountain, and he's delayed coming back. They don't know if he's going to come back, and they start to rebel. So Aaron, the high priest, says, "Look, when you were in Egypt, you remember they worshipped animals. So let's make a golden calf, and let's give us a focus, and we'll use that as a symbol so that you can know God is still with you." And all was well until they started treating that golden calf as if it were God. Moses comes down the mountain, sees the blasphemy in its place, and destroys the tablets. So the problem is that we need to continue to change things. Our world changes, and we need to evolve our faith no differently than the world around us evolves. And because our schedules are so full to try to keep up and be part of community, that means that our worship has to be more engaging, and maybe even sometimes changing the day that we'll read Torah from daytime to nighttime. It requires us to rethink over and over what it means to be relevant and to be faithful. Because we have to remember that when we're praying, we're supposed to be thinking about how we can internalize the message of changing the world and healing relationships, as opposed to how we honor stuff. So join us tonight as we continue to build community. Shabbat services are at 7 o'clock, momreformedtemple.org. Special treat, it's our first Friday, and we have a young man who's going to be joining us on guitar for some wonderful music and light conversation. I hope you'll enjoy it. Shabbat Shalom, everybody.